Hey, I'm Patrick Escolas with another Banyan Tire Tracks podcast. I have with me Matt Silver of Greenscreens.ai. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me here.
Hey, so one of the big things that we have here at Connect 23 is we have green screens here. We have a partnership with Banyan. We also have the CEO talking, but let's not let that, he doesn't have as big of a title, but he has just as much of the knowledge. What is Greenscreens? Let's start there.
Yeah, so at its core, Greenscreens is a dynamic pricing platform to benefit the brokerage community, as we've talked about.
And this is full truckload, correct?
Full truckload, yeah, and we've talked a little bit about it in some of our sessions. But today we're selling just to the brokerage community, helping them find dynamic pricing for full truckload, van, flatbed, reefer. Today, short term.
All right.
We have some development underway in the next couple months. We'll have a long-term predictive platform, so be able to predict up to a year out.
So if you're a shipper, close your ears for a few months. But if you're a 3PL or a broker, listen up. And when you say short term, what does that mean? Just spot, or where's your space?
Absolutely. So we definitely play in the spot market. We predict up to 2 weeks into the future right now, which for spot market freight, most of that moves within 36 to 48 hour window.
And that's just freight. You couldn't tell me if the Guardians are going to make the postseason or not?
Not yet. I mean, I could show you my personal betting app and make some predictions, but you probably don't want to go anywhere, I bet.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I'll take your word on that one. No, but tell me more. But with that, and I didn't mean to cut you off there. So yeah, 2 weeks out. This is with freight. Oh, are there any caveats with that? What are you guys seeing with that, with the data you're able to pull back there?
We're seeing a tremendous amount. And both between our team as well as customer demand. We're learning more from it. We're making more astute predictions. We're refining the models that we're using. So kind of backing up a little bit on it, we produce for our customers two different rates. One is the market at large rate.
And that's everything that's going on?
That's what everybody is doing. And we see from a lot of companies in the space, or companies that are trying to create pricing products, that they have $5 or $10 billion worth of data in the trailing 12 months. We are sitting on $20 billion in the trailing 12 months, and we're still very new to this market.
Right.
Been around for 2 years, and we're using that. It's anonymized and it's consorted across all of our customer base, and we're setting the baseline of what's happening in the market today.
Gotcha.
And into that short-term future as well. And then on top of that, and going a step further for pricing, we built out a machine learning model specific to each and every customer.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So it's specific to that client or customer or that broker or 3PL.
Exactly right.
Their data. Okay.
So all the nuances of their customer mix, the depth of their capacity network, all the shipment characteristics, right? Up to 38 different characteristics on every shipment are analyzed. And we use that to tailor our predictions. All the customers on our platform, it's like my favorite stat in the world, single digit variance between our predicted rate and their actual booked rate.
What's the single digit?
Blended, it's like 6.5%.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's not 9.99. No. That's really getting a no. That sounds awesome. And with that, is that data and that does equipment type come into that? Like if I choose reefer, is it going to give me reefer specific
100%
versus flatbed?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually really important to make sure that we get the equipment type specific. On top of the $20 billion that we have kept as clean data and we use for our models today. Obviously, that grows as our customers grow, but we've actually thrown out about 35% of the data we receive.
I was going to say, you said clean data, so what does dirty data look like?
Looks like the data we get all the time.
That's what I send you in emails?
Yeah, absolutely. So and we work with our partners like Banyan to set parameters for what clean data looks like ahead of time so the integration flows smoother. But part of that also is scrubbing the data that we get on a continuous basis. And it could be something as simple as, and I'm not accusing brokers of anything, I used to be in this world, but maybe you build a load under one customer because your preferred customer is out of credit. And then when the shipment moves, you bump it over to the appropriate customer. Sometimes you fat finger the numbers, right? 13,000 pounds could become 31,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So when we predict, we're baselining all the data we've received.
Yeah, it's not relevant.
Exactly.
Right. You don't want to build on that.
Yeah. Well, we get
trash in, trash out kind of a thing.
Exactly. I actually love that phrase because I use it. But we reconcile our predictions against the actual booking, which is pretty unique. So all the data comes back to us as the actual booking, and we use the variance between those to retrain our models and redeploy them.
Awesome. So I get Greenscreens hooked up. I'm a 3PL broker. You give me a price. I just take a leap of faith and assume that's good. What else? What do you back that up with? What's there for me to use that number?
Yeah, I love leap of faith, first off, because we will be right.
Okay.
And I know
you heard it here first.
Yeah,
they're right. Just like my wife.
I know it's
always
very bold. We were going to name the product after your wife, but the name was taken.
Hear that, Spencer?
Yeah.
You're famous.
We're trying to put everybody on the map. But honestly, what we're publishing, we prove it's right.
Okay.
And of course, there are times it's wrong, right? Like data is fluid; it's not absolute. So these models are going to change over time, based on all the factors of the industry. So if we predict it on a Tuesday, you move it on a Wednesday, certainly that's going to change something. Even throughout the time of day as capacity enters and exits a market, right? That's like the easiest way to think of changes. But we learn from it. We continue to make changes. We redeploy the models. And our goal is to get all the customers as specific as possible in the predictions. And we continuously test new data sets as well.
All right.
So you can imagine in our position, a lot of people come to us saying, hey, we have data around dwell time, weather, car accidents, freeway closures, wind patterns, dust in the air, pollution. I think we've sampled all of it at this point. We run it through our data team to see, does it bring us closer to 0% error?
Tell me, how is that? I want to know how the dust. The dust is the important one.
It makes me sneeze. I don't think it changes the cost of freight.
When sneezing while driving, there's more accidents and the price. No, and I'm not as dumb about all this as I look or sound, because I've heard a bit about what you said. So you've got, with the numbers, the market and then the target that you can get from there. Those numbers that you're predicting, whether that's all around or just client specific from their data. You've got confidence and accuracy.
Correct.
What are those, and how are they different?
Yeah, I really wish we had maybe used different names for some of these things.
Yeah, right.
But
it sounds like me saying the same thing on an old test where it's like, define accuracy.
I'm confident it's accurate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or it's accurately confident. So we measure both things. So when on our platform we talk about confidence, and we represent it in both the market rate as well as the target buy rate that we publish to our customers. So what the market is doing and the confidence around that, what the customer specific price is to go buy the capacity.
Right.
And confidence around that. And confidence for our company and the way we represented it is effectively, how hard do you have to work to go find the truck, right? We're giving you the price. We know it's accurate. I'll dive a little more on accuracy in a second here. But confidence around it is, are you going to be able to go past or into your past carriers?
So confidence might be scarcity, like of the lane. Yeah, like
it could be.
How hard you'd have to work to get that number is accurate for.
Absolutely how hard you have to work. And it is reflective of capacity scarcity or abundance.
Got you.
Your individual brokerage might operate different than the market at large because of carrier relationships.
Understood.
Go-to-market strategy, tools at your helm, right? Yeah. If you have a lot of digital freight matching products, right? And you guys have great integrations with some of those players.
Yeah.
If you're using those tools effectively, you probably don't have to post and pray, right? You don't have to dial for diesel or do any of the fun stuff that we're known for.
I love those cliches.
Yeah,
man.
I've booked a lot of loads in my day. I got something for everything.
I like it.
But counter to that, accuracy.
Right.
Right. So no other pricing product in the market has a report card or an accuracy report.
Really?
We publish ours live on the website all day long. Every customer can access it.
So you're self-auditing every day just to say. Now, and within that, this is you don't mean it. Have you had a day where we're like, man, we're at 60%. It was a bad day because we had bad data, or what does that look like?
No.
Okay.
So bad data gets kicked out.
Right. That's fair. That's fair.
Because the ML that we're using learns and retrains itself, and it continues to adapt.
So would it just be if there's not enough good data then?
Yeah, so it won't regress necessarily. It'll respond to inputs. And so that's why we're super cautious about what enters the data set.
Yeah.
Because it's...
You don't want to throw off the whole thing and have it learning and, we taught it wrong. It's really good at it, but it's on a flawed foundation.
Absolutely. So if there was some catastrophic event and all the tanker moves for a brokerage were classified as van and entered the data set, they would actually be so outside of market bounds that we would put manual labor into checking it out and seeing what's going on before we let it influence any of the models.
Okay, so you've got all this data, and this is all truckload. you've had to have seen some trends, right? Like what is the current trend and where's that going? Because outside of being able just to give a price, you've probably got a little bit of a roadmap of what's ahead, or at least 100%. Where we've come from.
Yeah, well, certainly where we've come from, right?
Right.
Everybody in the industry is super, reflective of how good things were for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it feels like
your VP still wants you to get all of that profit.
Yeah.
They don't care that the market's bad.
Just 500% of your
Just
growth.
find it.
That's what
Make
you need.
it happen. Yeah.
So we're in agreement with a lot of what industry experts are saying right now, which is we've more normalized than completely fallen off the cliff. Things are maintaining, if not starting to rebuild right now.
Okay.
So, for truckload rates, we're going to start seeing them increase. Capacity demand is, getting a little tighter.
Okay.
So that's going to cause, the abundance of equipment out there to dry up a little bit.
Yeah.
There was a session earlier today that you guys had that was really, really great where, the small carriers that did suffer some of the shortcomings of economic downfall, they didn't exit. Right? No. They just transferred that ability to move freight into larger corporations, and that's where capacity goes. Those trucks obviously come at a little bit of a premium, which is going to drive pricing up.
Right. And do we expect things to keep moving in this same path forward? I mean, you're only a wizard for 2 weeks. What do you see 6 months out?
Yeah, I think if we look back on some of the trends, right, and we see that slow crawl up and to the right, we're not quite a hockey stick yet, but things are starting to look better. I think, when we talk in group settings, you get a lot of pessimistic feelings from groups. Every brokerage we talk to one-on-one, everybody in this industry we talk to one-on-one.
Isn't every broker cynical by default?
Everybody's super optimistic when we talk to them.
Oh, really?
And I think, we've had this kind of lull, right?
Okay.
And a lot of people are using that downtime to reflect on where am I spending as a business, right? Am I inflated in my labor spend? Am I inflated in perks, right? Maybe not a new foosball table, right? Yeah. Maybe less kegs of beer in the office.
No.
Let's focus on some tooling that makes us more efficient as an organization.
Yeah. No, and I like that, and that's great. So outside of what we've talked about, and so you guys, I'm sure you have a standalone product. What's great about our partnership with Banyan?
Yeah. Fewer mouse clicks, right? It's easier for the brokerage to reach the answers that they need.
Okay.
Right. And that's what you guys have done a great job with. And as somebody on the partnership side for the last 5 years of my career, it's great when the workflow feels native. It's super easy for the brokerage to capitalize from. So whether it's a sales rep or a carrier sales rep, they enter the information in their TMS and immediately at their fingertips, they have answers.
It's right there.
They know what it is going to cost them to acquire capacity. If they would like guidance on pricing to their customer, that's provided as well. Some of it inside the Banyan TMS, some of it clickable out to our UI. We have a lot of, we can surface tribal knowledge and provide it as a coach to new staff.
And you bring up tribal knowledge, and I think that's a great point because for all of those that have tribal knowledge, they're going to probably continue to rely on that. But I think a lot more people there's a lot less at each organization. There's, people decide to retire, you go a different company, and then you're left, you're telling a 24-year-old to go, get these prices out, and they're going, I don't understand this spreadsheet. I don't know who that guy talked to. How do I figure out what to get this pricing from? And I can see your tool as a great way to get them to a spot where they can be effective a lot faster.
Yeah. And, tribal knowledge, I think helps some of us, right? When I entered this industry, I was a young freight broker.
Look at you now with your wizened wizard beard.
I got the gray. I'm on my way to your haircut as well. But there's also,
not my choice.
As we go through business cycles, right? Capacity enters and exits markets. We go through peaks and valleys. Some of us forget what happened in a specific business cycle and how we overcame a problem. We might have that tribal knowledge rattling in the back of our minds. And I usually think of it as like 3 a.m. I shoot out of bed and I'm like, Billy's trucking company, right? He moved this for $1,200 that one time, right?
Yeah.
And he was begging me for more.
Right. But I didn't have anything because this is a once every 7 years, type of load.
Exactly. We forget about those things. Embedded in our solution is something we call the negotiation coach.
Yeah.
And it's awesome for young staff. It's also great for experienced vets because it's going to surface from our clients' own data.
Okay.
Some of the tribal knowledge. Who's hauled it? What's the best and worst price you've paid for it? But also, what are the factors that might influence the transit time? Is there a blitz week? Is there a federal holiday? Something like that that could impact, and you want to be aware of it when you go to market.
Yeah, and I also see kind of almost a soft value here in that this is gonna, as somebody at brokerage brings on new agents or new staff, is this a way to kind of ramp them up a little faster?
Absolutely.
Have you seen that, or is this more of a hypothetical?
We have felt it.
Okay.
It's actually a fun thing that our CEO likes to survey the crowd about how long does it take to get good at pricing.
Okay. What is the average? What's the average?
I think most
without green screens.
Yeah, when we blindly survey, it's anywhere between 6 months and a year is what everybody will just blindly say.
You got to go through a whole year to really,
you get comfortable with some seasonality and some nuance to it. I will say in my entire career, we probably never got good at it, right? We had some gut feels. We would get faster at going to the tools.
Okay.
Right? Who do we call in what region to check on some spot
Gotcha.
rates? But ultimately, it comes down to if you have a tool at your fingertips that can, ping an API and bring you the answer in less than a second.
Then it's not about you knowing the pricing.
The best way.
It's about having to go find it.
Look, I don't know how to do much of anything, but I know how to use Google very, very well.
There you go. That's put on the resume. Master Googler. No, and I think that with some of the load board integrations we have with trucker tools, truck stop, and then the existing stuff, whether you've got a matrix or you're doing a spot quote, that it's really more of an entire ecosystem within that truckload brokerage with Banyan now.
Absolutely.
And green screen can be used by itself, but I think really it's better to bring into your entire process.
I've tried to coin the phrase "better together."
Hey, I think they used that one a while ago.
I saw it on the screen today. I love it. But really, not just through our integrated partners on the TMS side like you guys.
Yeah.
But we do have integration work going on with Truck Stop. We're bringing in other products to our ecosystem as well.
Right to the source, yeah.
Just trying to string the most efficient transaction possible together.
Okay. Hey, I've learned a lot. I learned a lot before we started talking from you, and I keep getting, I feel like I'm still just scratching the surface. But one thing I always like to give anyone is, what's your message either to any of the Banyan users, any of the listeners, anything, whether it's about you and how to get a beard that looks that nice, or about green screens. Here's my platform. Use it for a few minutes.
Yeah, I'll have a lot of advice about everything. First and foremost, buy green shoes.
Yeah, can you show those? Lift it real high.
I don't know if I don't think
you will hurt yourself. Please don't do that.
You're going to see me fall out.
We're not insured for that. Yeah, no.
But with the platform, come check it out. Our team is at every event. I always like to say, remind my sales team that they owe you a beer.
And they got the Hawaiian shirts. Look for the Hawaiian shirts.
Absolutely. That's the next point. We're always easy to spot. Either find the beard or find the Hawaiian shirts. Our team is out there.
I love it. Matt, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the time. And
thank you.
Thank you for everybody listening and watching. This has been another Banyan episode of Tire Tracks, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.